In his Will Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Hi, family. Let me get kind of centered. Well, family, I wanted to talk today about why is that always? Yeah, there we go. I wanted to talk today about expound further on what I was went on a tangent about on Sunday, and that was our ancestors being overcomers and survivors and thrivers. But just like we are our ancestors, like we are the outcome of what our ancestors were building. We're standing on the foundation of what our ancestors were building. There were those on the plantations that didn't quite feel that way. For them, they were invested in the system staying as it was because they got perceived benefits from that. And so if they heard someone was going to run away, they squashed that. They told if there was going to be a rebellion, they told. In order to run away from down south, I learned this living down here that in any body of water, there could be any number of different species of poisonous snake and or alligators. There's wild boars running around out here in these woods. There were many dangers besides the catchers coming to drag you back or kill you. So, in order to run or rebel, like you had, well, to run, you had to have a special kind of faith. You had to have that supernatural faith in a supernatural God in order to do that. To to see the unseen, to trust the unseen and just go. That's faith. I'm not a fan of Cynthia Erivo, but in that Harriet movie, she um, that Harriet movie highlighted the supernatural. Although I don't know that they attributed to God so much, but it was the supernatural, supernatural faith in a supernatural God. So Nat Turner was a preacher, and that preacher somehow communicated to the people, and the people communicated amongst each other a rebellion that even escaped the eyes of the um we'll call him Chicken George. Even escaped his eyes, right? Until the last minute and everything got squashed, right? They killed Nat and everybody else. But even from that limited Bible, Nat was able to preach the gospel and help the people to get ready for this revolt because they were ready. They were about it. Somehow the people were able to speak among themselves about it with nobody getting caught until it happened. Until it was right before the rebellion and they got them. So, it was through preaching and it was through the worship. Through their worship songs, they were able to communicate. And even in that, there's still those folks. And so there's just like we stand on the foundations that our ancestors set for us, those other folks stand on the foundation that their people set for them. And so that is how we have COINTELPRO. So that is how we lost Martin and Malcolm. It wasn't people from the outside, it was the people on the inside that got in, that got close. That's how the Panthers got shot up and locked up. COINTELPRO. Move it up to current day. That is how Black Lives Matter functioned. Black Lives Matter went to Ferguson, riding on that wave, right? There were organizers already there, already on the ground, already getting people organized, getting things going, right? Well, somehow, at least three or four of them somehow were found with a bullet wound to the head, burning up in a car. So they took their bodies because they were shot first, and then they took their bodies, put them in a car, and burn them up. Now, I'm not saying that the Black Lives Matter people did that, but they're part of the system that did that because they had to be moved out of the way in order for these guys to have any type of credibility. And what they did was all lives mattered. Right? They all lives mattered. Every single protest. I remember seeing signs with trans lives matter. I'm like, what does that have to do with this person that died? And listen, so they sucked the life out of our protests. That's why I think that protests aren't working anymore. We're not doing that anymore because COINTELPRO. So they sucked the life out of the protests and they turned into a joke. Like people were twerking at the protest. Martin Luther would never. Martin Luther King would never. There would be no twerking at the protest, but that's besides the point. So what I do blame Black Lives Matter organizers for is that they got all that money. And I don't even know that all of them got the money. I think the two ladies at the top got the money. And they invested in real estate. So the very bodies that their movement was built on, the families of those people got not one dime, not one penny. And they invested millions in real estate in California. COINTELPRO family. And so the relatives of those people filtered out into academia. Some of them went into politics. Some of them went into religion. Those are our prosperity preachers fleecing the sheep, our politicians fleecing the communities. That is why our cities are so horrible because the people put in charge of them don't have the people, don't have the community foremost in their mind. They People are invested in the system because they have a perceived benefit of the system while stepping on the necks of the people. And so family on the plantation they shunned them. And I think we should continue to shun them. Anybody that's fleecing the people in any way for their own benefit, gotta go. These new age gurus fleecing the people, leading the people astray, they gotta go. Shunning. Don't spend your tax dollars. Don't spend your hard earned dollars with people that would fleece you. All right, well, join us again next time when In Its Will Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Until then, bye.